been waiting a long time to talk about this one. So, this is Justice League. I'm ready to make some enemies today. You not so much, but I'm ready to make some enemies today.
Yeah, I'm just kind of on the meh to subpar.
Yeah, I thought this sucked.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Fuck. Alright, so, to be fair, before I begin, I want to make it clear, if you go back and watch the other reviews for the DC movies, I have tried to defend these movies before. Vehemently at times. Even though I look back and I realize I was wrong.
Yeah, like...
Batman vs Superman is a clear case.
Yeah, because remember, that was the one that pissed me off.
Yeah, that one I defended because I wanted to like it, and then I look back, it's like, especially after watching it, the extended cuts, like, the movie sucks. And fuck this movie, fuck everything it did. This one isn't that bad, but that's also a really low bar.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad was just remarkably forgettable. Wonder Woman was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was a decent one.
In my opinion. Man of Steel... I have to watch that one again on how that one's held up over the years. I remember I liked it when I first saw it, but I probably wouldn't now.
It's one of those ones where, like, I understood what they were going for, I just thought they did a bad job at it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So this is Justice League. Everything that's been leading up to, quote-unquote, as in we're pretending a lot of what happened in Batman vs Superman didn't happen. Even though it still references what happened there. It all seems like ashamed of it, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie sucked. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was sitting there just, because I saw this on opening day, because I was like, alright, I got nothing else going on tonight. Whether I'm gonna like it or I'm not, it's like a culturally big, important movie, so I should just need to go see it. And I watched it, and I walked out pissed. And to be fair, it's not worse than Suicide Squad, but not by much.
That's fair.
So what did you think before I go off of my tangents?
I appreciate they at least tried to act like superheroes this time.
That's nice.
And it had some moments here and there, but really it's kind of like we said about Suicide Squad. It's just really forgettable for the most part. There's nothing that really stands out aside from them, like, still making course corrections, which, like,
is welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that they're trying. They're just not. They're clearly trying to do a better job. They're just
suck at it.
Yeah.
They suck at doing their one job, which is making a good movie. But before I get really into the negatives, let's talk about something we did right first. Talk about the positives. So I can say that there are positives before people rip me to shreds. Superman. Yeah, so Superman's good, even though the CGI they used to get rid of his mustache is really distracting.
Somehow, I didn't really see it too much. Then again, I think I just didn't care. I think was it in that opening bit?
It was in the opening bit.
Okay.
It was in some of the reshoots, like in the part where he's all spoiler, but you've probably seen this movie by now. Where he's all like, "I'm evil Superman now." And you can always tell when the mustache CGI'd out because it looks like someone like ran over his upper lip with a steamroller.
Yeah.
And you can just tell if you're like the CG. We'll get to CGI in a bit because that's a whole topic all its own.
Yeah.
But no, like Superman finally got it for the last 5 minutes. It was kind of disappointing, but at least like okay, there's at least an effort to course correct.
Yeah.
So
it's just a major system reboot. That's all it was.
Yeah, you need to kill him off and bring him back and do all that shit. Granted, the first line he has when he's all good, Superman's like, okay, that's cheesy even for Superman.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I believe in... what was that dumbass
truth and justice. I was like, no, that felt pretty Superman to me.
I felt like that cheesy even for Superman. No, it's like, I believe in truth, but also a little bit of justice. And it was like, okay, that's Christopher Reeve Superman, not necessarily modern day Superman, but like, I'll still take it over dude.
It's like, in that case, I'll take the damn cheese.
Yeah, like, that's a case where...
Like I said, it's like, you know what? The cheese is Superman, I am fine with this.
I'll take that over. I'm dark and deep thinking. I imagine, like, anytime in Batman vs Superman, whenever Superman's just staring out the distance, I imagine that scene from SpongeBob where Patrick's like, the inner workings of my mind are an enigma. It's just like a carton of milk just spill over. That's what I imagine Superman's thought process in Batman vs Superman. So this one, it's a step in the right direction. It was nice to see. I saw it a week ago. I do not remember a lick of that last fight between him and Steppenwolf.
I thought there was some, well, not between him specifically, but there were some pretty damn good moments. Like, was it when he flew off to go help some civilians?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. Like stuff like
seeing Barry out, just push the truck that way. I was like, see Superman with the entire fucking building on top of him.
We'll get to the Flash. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's the one thing I know we're going to disagree on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get into my reasons why later.
No, I definitely understand them because for some it's kind of a fine line.
Well, it's also I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it because I can feel the rage bubbling. And I don't want to get there yet. Sorry, Superman is good. Batfleck is still good. I feel like he was a little more dulled down in this one, but he was still good.
Yeah.
I still Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot's still great.
I think she finally hit her comfort zone with that.
No, I still love Gal Gadot. She's still the best part of the DCU. DCCU? What do they call it?
DCEU.
EU, that's what it is.
Because, yeah, it's like with Wonder Woman, I felt like she was a little...
See, that didn't...
inconsistent. Like, I thought once she was sharing screen time with Chris Pine, because, like, they had fantastic chemistry together.
Yeah. And
that's when I felt she was at her strongest. Here, she definitely felt much more natural, consistently throughout.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so, like, those are still great. It's still fun. It's still nice to see these characters, like, as much as I didn't like how they did it, still seemed like the team together, still like okay, that's still kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like Jason Momoa. I don't think he's Aquaman, but I liked him because I can tell he's having fun, which I respect. It's too bro-y, like fraternity bro kind of thing for Aquaman, in my opinion.
Right.
But at least he's having fun. There's that.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, like, he, to a certain degree, actually is qualified. Given I believe he's from Hawaii, and two, I believe he actually was like an oceanic studies guy.
No, it's not Jason Momoa's fault necessarily.
It's the writing.
Uh,
And now I have very little hope that Chris Terrario is going to do a good job with Star Wars Episode 9. I mean, then again...
we've been surprised before. I mean, look at Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, which had the writers of the Vacation movie.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Although, clearly, that was a case of Marvel having their hands on things.
Well, yeah,
that's not a bad thing, though.
Yeah, because they actually know what they're doing, unlike Warner Brothers.
Plus, I assume it's going to be, and to be fair, it'll probably be a similar case of Star Wars, because I know Kathleen Kennedy runs a pretty tight ship.
Yeah.
As we have seen from the Han Solo debacle. Happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which I don't fully blame them, but at the same time, it's like, I really wanted to see what Lord and Miller would have brought.
Yeah.
I fucking love their movies.
So, do you have any other positives?
I had moments of entertainment. Like when they're all acting together, it's like
those parts were kind of
like they had good chemistry together, and like I said, I think the fact that since we'll get to that negative probably next, I know a certain someone did not definitely dampen it for you, to put it lightly.
I'm gonna save that one for later because that's a whole rant waiting to happen.
But like I enjoyed the back and forth between the groups. You know, I thought they were at times it was pretty humorous and yeah. A little spoiler for one of the post-credit scenes.
Okay. No, that's a negative.
One half of that was good, not the other half.
Yeah, one half is only good if you know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like the Thanos reveal in Avengers, where it's like they're only for a second. They linger on this character for a long time. So it's like, half people have no clue who the fuck this is. So this means nothing to them.
I know. I'm just saying it was cool seeing him.
You could have had like Deadshot or like anyone from like the Suicide Squad movie pop up in there. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, I know doing that because I think A, he's going to be in Batman 2. You heard that he's probably going to be getting his own movie, right? And
Again, but that doesn't make it better. That's a whole other thing.
I know. It's a fanboy thing, and I'll admit that. I'm more excited because of who's making it, apparently.
That's a whole other case of like feeding the fanboys so that to distract from the shallowness of the actual movie.
No, I totally agree. I'm just saying that's why I'm saying it's cool. It's more cool than good.
Yeah. I mean, it looked good. I'll give him that. But anyway, so let's dig into the negatives. The first one I'm going to talk about because this drove me insane from the minute he popped up on screen. Steppenwolf. Did he look as awful to you as he did to me?
No, but he was as bland as I expected.
I thought this is one of the worst looking CGI villains I've seen since Spawn.
I'm not sure. Seeing Senior mustache and the big bulky thing was still a lot worse for me.
Which
Wonder Woman?
I'd take that over this any fucking day of the week. At least you can kind of laugh at that. This was like...
Fair point.
Because every time it was like, ooh, the big bad Ares, hello. It's like you put Nigel Thornberry in medieval armor. I'm Nigel Thornberry.
And like, that's a fair point. It's like, honest, once again,
let me put it this way. I've seen a lot of CGI villains over there. More often than not, I can look past it. Hello.
Oh, is this like a now thing?
Yeah, it's now thing. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Because I think the other reason why it didn't bother me was because for this movie, I went in not caring at all.
Well, fair enough. Like, I looked at, I went there with an open mind, but the CGI movie is so bad and overall, it's distractingly bad, in my opinion. I couldn't stop thinking, every time something happened, it just looked unpleasant. It was unpleasant to look at, and Steppenwolf was, the epitome of that, because at first, I should be playing Mortal Kombat right now. That's what I mean. Or Injustice, or anything with a better story than this. But as soon as he popped up, and all the CGI villains I have seen over the years, this is the only one, while sitting in the theater, I actually, sat back in my chair and thought, wow, that looks awful. Wow, that is just unpleasant to look at. It's horribly designed, and it's such a waste of a good actor.
Who's the actor?
I don't remember his name, but he was also in Ghost Rider 2. He played Satan in that one. They used his voice for the character.
Oh, okay.
I was like, but you couldn't use motion capture or something? You just had this again, every time he was on screen, I felt like I was watching a cutscene for a video game. It was just so uncomfortable to sit through. Well, maybe uncomfortable is a strong word. It's more just it was so continuously distracting, and how bad it always looked, and it never got better.
And that's fair, because for me, he wasn't the worst thing I'd seen, but really, it was just...
I thought it was one of the worst CGI villains I've ever seen. Again, I would have said the worst. That's the Satan in Spawn was worse, if I'm being perfectly fair. But no, I thought Steppenwolf, which again would be forgivable if it was a decent villain, but it's just I am evil, I want to conquer things. Giant axe.
Admittedly, there really isn't much you can do with Steppenwolf, and to be fair, I think I understood what they were going for, focus on the team, building those characters, but they failed on that too.
I mean, that's been done before in better movies, Guardians of the Galaxy. Ronan isn't the most fascinating villain either, but again, he's entertaining to an extent. Again, in you can kind of laugh how over the top it is kind of way.
Not really. I didn't get that from because the only
I did.
Will admit, I laughed at the whole dance bit, but that's really the only moment I could laugh at.
Every time it's the Guardians of the Galaxy, over the top. At least somebody's having fun with it, and again, at least he's actually physically fucking there, which also helps. This is just a giant CGI avatar from a Mortal Kombat game, and I could not get past that. And every time he was on screen, it just made it worse, especially when it's not zoomed into his face. Yeah. And he has the whole whooshy whoosh thing with the axe. It's that was just, it's just awful. It's just awful CGI. And that goes for a lot of CGI in general, because nobody came out of this clean, in my opinion.
For me, the bit of CG that bugged me the most was when frickin' Aquaman was flying in the sky dealing with the parademons.
Oh, yeah, there's that. And there's the underwater scene, which was so, I saw people on Instagram going like, "Oh, can you imagine a whole movie like that?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm already getting motion sickness."
Yeah.
Or can you tell what the fuck was happening? Because it's so horribly shot, it's so horribly choreographed.
Which is another reason I'm glad Zack Snyder's out.
Thank fucking Christ. And again, no disrespect to Zack Snyder, he's going through a tough time right now. But at the same time, you can tell where his fingerprints were in this movie.
I was gonna say even when he wasn't dealing through that, he's.
It's so far up its own ass. Less so than Batman vs Superman, I will be fair.
Yeah.
But you can tell where Josh Whedon came in a little bit.
Yeah.
To rework some of the scenes. Where there's more color, which is nice. Okay, and let's talk. Speaking of bad CGI, let's talk about what I know. I know I'm in the minority on this one. Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Yeah, I was fine with him.
I fucking hated him. I thought. First off, not Barry Allen. Not even close. I will fight anybody that says he is. That is the case. Like, you want Wally West, then make it Wally West. This is not Barry Allen. Barry Allen is not the jokester. He never was, and every time he's on screen, I feel like, let's stop the movie dead in its tracks so Ezra Miller can practice his stand-up comedy routine. Like, when he first meets up with Batman, he has a whole thing like, and what's up with brunch? And I was like, and that sounds like such a Jerry Seinfeld like bit, where it's like, and what's the deal with airline food? It's like, did we need this? Do we need? And every fucking line he has is a quip. Can you think of one genuine line of dialogue he has that is not comedy?
In terms of quips,
No, I'm not talking about like what quips were good or weren't good. I'm saying, like, is there any actual dialogue he has that is not a quip?
yeah, when he's talking to his dad.
Touche. But even then, like, I think somebody else pointed this out too. Is like he's the only one with an actual arc, and the most complex arc they have is Barry gets a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is it. That is the end of that arc.
Yeah. And like I said, and I acknowledged earlier, it's like the writing of these characters, they were at times entertaining, but they had next to no development whatsoever.
God no.
And it's
God
like,
no.
You can tell that they cut out a crap ton of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
from what I've heard, they cut out about an hour's worth of material.
I'm not surprised.
And it's like, you didn't learn your lesson from BVS Ultimate Edition, where even if it wasn't a good movie, it still helped for the most part?
Not really. As someone who's watched both versions, I could say it's still a colossal piece of shit. Now it's a 3-hour colossal piece of shit that made me angrier than when I first saw it. Because for every answer it made, it came up like 5 more questions that I had that got no answer, and how Lex Luthor is just a magical knowledge machine. We'll get to Lex Luthor later.
On the one hand, Lex is supposed to be the super genius. On the other hand, regardless of whether or not the stuff did make his plan better.
How did he know that? That's what it boils down to for me. Like, the one that's like, oh, but it explains this part of that thing. Like, the one that killed me was the one where it turns out, like, the wheelchair was lined with lead. So, like, Superman couldn't see the bomb in the wheelchair and Batman vs Superman. Was like, okay, that explains that. But then I was like,
why didn't he just listen?
No, not even that.
It's like, how did he know the weakness?
Yeah, I was like, okay, so clearly at this point, Superman doesn't know he can't see through lead. So how did Lex Luthor know he can't see through lead? And for that matter, how does Lois Lane know that Superman... How does everyone know that Superman can't see through lead except Superman? What sense does that make?
So they actually did make a point that he didn't know he couldn't see through it?
No, like Lois Lane, like they said, like there's at some point, someone's like, oh yeah, the wheelchair was lined with lead, and Lois Lane's like, so Superman couldn't see through it. It's like, but how did you know he can't see through it?
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, that's another rant I'm trying to avoid. Yeah. So yeah, I just did not buy this character as the Flash. It just did not work for me at all. And again, it's not fucking Barry Allen.
Yeah. Like, I was entertained by him, but I can understand what you mean by that. Like, it is much closer to Wally West in those regards.
And I'm fine with interpreting characters differently. But so, like, I think it was the Cinema Snob people that made a good point about this. Like, when the characters are this iconic, when you don't get it right, it's much more noticeable and much more distracting.
Yeah.
But
for me, I'd say that was more with Aquaman. And
Yeah.
definitely Batman last year. I mean, to be fair, I mean, once again, I kind of got over it just because of the environment, but at the same time, it's like, that's one of those things, like, it was really hard to separate the two, or hell, even with Superman.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the only reason I could forgive him with Barry Allen's, or with The Flash, because like I said, I was at least entertained by him, so...
I wasn't. I didn't laugh once. Every time he's on screen he said something, I audibly groaned, because I was like, can we get back to the actual fucking movie? And that's been another fucking second of Ezra Miller doing dirt face, or some stupid joke that I didn't think was funny. So that was just, that dragged it down for me so hard. And I've been reading a lot of opinions, I'm looking at a lot of things, and I think that it usually boils down to is how much you like the characters, depending on whether or not you like the film. For me, I wasn't a big fan of at least some of these characters, and that really dragged it down for me.
That's true, because, like, and I can definitely acknowledge that, because, like, that is a case where enjoying these character interactions really is the movie's only saving grace, and if they fail at that, then what else does it have?
Yeah, because at least, you could argue the Avengers had a pretty shallow plot to it when all was said and done, but it had interesting characters, characters you already knew, so you didn't have to spend the time developing them.
And that is one of the things that still bugs me with DC, is how, okay, you're just throwing these people in here, it's like, why should we care?
Yeah, and it's like, and I get they're trying to do something different, they shouldn't necessarily just copy the Marvel formula, but at the same time, it's like, you should have done more than what you did, because you could have put in another half hour in this, but at the same time, looking at how bad CGI was, like, I'm also kind of glad they didn't.
Yeah, it's like, that's one good thing. Another positive is this movie was over relatively quickly.
There is that. And so, by the time the action rolls around, I'm not invested in what's going on, because I don't give a shit about any of the characters.
Yeah.
In fact, I find, a good chunk of them kind of annoying. Cyborg is just kind of there for a good chunk of the film, and its design is awful. He has an awful design.
That was CG that bugged me.
Yeah. The uncanny valley element of it just looks so distractingly bad. And again, they smoothed them out in the end. I was like, well, why the fuck didn't you do that sooner? Made a prettier design, a simpler design you could actually make move in a more realistic fashion without looking so distractingly awful.
Yeah, and I think that
even with this Michael Bay Transformers bullshit.
That is nothing. I'm thinking maybe that's why also Steppenwolf didn't bug me as much, because I got more of Cyborg there, which stood out way more.
Yeah.
And also, as you said, CG in general is just kind of, like, it's done so much, I think I just kind of got numb to it throughout the movie.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's just all this collective bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work. It is as bland and as unoriginal as it fucking gets in this film.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And we deserve. Again, I said this in the Suicide Squad review. We deserve fucking better. As DC fans, I know some people this movie already has its hardcore defenders. I've seen them be like, this movie was awesome and this and that. And then, the one that killed me, the comments was like, well, the characters are so accurate. Like, no, they aren't. No, they aren't. And I'll fight you if you try to insist it is. And, some are.
Wonder Woman and Superman definitely are.
Those are good. But if you want to look me dead-eye and say, that is Barry Allen, that is Aquaman, fuck you. You've clearly not read an Aquaman comic or a Flash comic in the last few years. Again, it's closer to Wally West, but even Wally West knows when to take things seriously. There's not whole scenes of him looking at Superman like.
I thought that was funny because it was like.
I was already annoyed by Ezra Miller, so watching him do dirt faces is made.
No, I love that. I just love that shit face he had. We just saw Superman looking at him.
Yeah, I was like, and again, if I liked Flash, I would have been probably okay with it. But I was already really annoyed with him, so I was like, oh, shut the fuck up, Ezra Miller. I'm not amused by your antics. Now, granted, I was kind of against the casting of Ezra Miller to begin with. I just don't buy him as that character, and I still don't. I still think I was right about that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, but no, not even that. Because I've had questions about casting before, and I've been wrong. Gladly wrong. Gal Gadot is a good example. Where I don't think anybody thought she could do it. She did pretty well.
Yeah, I'm still not with her for 100%, but she's definitely.
I think she's great. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it's I will admit, I always kind of wanted Gina Carano to be Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman. I'm tired. But I mean, I've been warming up to her more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, this definitely felt like the most natural performance for her in terms of just like, you know, it felt much more effortless, less a little awkward and stilted.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just...
This is more of a nitpick, which some other people kind of brought up, and this is more of a continuity thing, was the strange outfit change of the Amazons.
Yeah, that fucking bugged me too. that fucking bugged me too.
Like,
and you can tell, yeah, it has Zack Snyder's fingerprints all fucking over it.
I do love that somebody was like, I don't want to watch this movie anymore because they changed things such a demeaning. I was like,
granted, they're barely in the movie.
Yeah,
but I was like, so when did they go from like at least covering everything to Amazon strippers?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
And it was funny because like. I watched part of it again. It's like some of them did have that, but not that much.
No, it wasn't so much. Here's a thong and a bikini top. Go fight Steppenwolf.
Yeah, just like
you're fully prepared for death battle. it's kind of like how was it Sonya? It's like just a chick. That's like the bikini and the like loincloth, but they're chainmail, so she's totally protected. God damn. Fuck.
So not obviously that is one of the smaller issues, but it definitely is just.
And let's talk about the way this movie uses references, and this bugged me too because this is where I think one thing that really bothered me about this too is I felt manipulated, and I don't like it when. Granted, all movies manipulate to a certain extent, but this one I felt like they'd throw out references to other things in the DCU,
like the Green Lantern Corps,
totally like for Darkseid, and like all these other references in there, or like the Penguin reference, and all these other references that distract from the fact like this is a shallow script. But if you throw in a Green Lantern at one point, they go, "Ooh, that's Green Lantern! That makes the movie cool now."
And like I said, I don't know if maybe the fact that like. They took out so much that it kind of gutted some of the better moments that could have made it more cohesive and, you know, better developed, but actually, from what I've heard, they did cut out quite a bit, especially with Aquaman, because I know Willem Dafoe is supposed to be in there.
What was Willem Dafoe supposed to be as?
I don't know, he's some Aquaman ally.
Should we talk about the most painful bit of exposition in this movie?
Which one?
The Aquaman setup.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow. You're
like right after Aquaman fights off Steppenwolf, because apparently at this point he's never been to Atlantis. Okay, whatever. He meets up with Mira, who doesn't even talk about the giant monster that just attacked them. They make like a little air bubble, and it just goes like, "So the king of Atlantis returns. Here's your entire backstory and the character setup."
Yeah, you want to talk about a plot stopping dead.
Yeah, that one was like, that was a groaner for me too. It was like, wow, this is lazy. This is really clumsy. This is really lazy. Because like, are we not going to talk about the giant fucker with the axe that just came in here and took our precious artifact? Are we not going to talk about that?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. No. And there's something else I was going to say too. Yeah, there's a lot of awkward exposition like that too. Yeah. And Cyborg is just this angsty little motherfucker who is just basically there to be the Swiss Army knife of the team.
Yeah, and apparently he was going to be even more angsty in the original cut.
Yeah,
and people mention how like Joss Whedon, you know, putting stuff to light, and it was like, this is lightened up. Like, I get some quips, but oh god, I'm kind of glad they did these reshoots.
Yeah, like, I did genuinely like the moment where, like, after, like, the whole mother box thing explodes and Superman or Cyborg are just laughing about it.
Yeah, it's like I wish I was dead!
Like, that was a genuinely nice moment. I would have liked more moments like that.
Yeah.
So you could tell, like, where the Joss Whedon rewrites came in. Not all of them worked. Trying to force humor on Batman seemed a little clumsy.
Yeah, something's definitely bleeding. Which was funny, but yeah, it just felt, like, kind of out there.
Some felt out of place. Like the one where it's like, you don't even like me. Well, I don't not. Which is kind of funny. If you hear Batman say that, it just feels kind of out of place.
Yeah. I found out Willem Dafoe's character.
Oh, what was that?
Luidus Volko?
I don't know that one.
I might be spelling his name wrong.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that character. I have to look it up.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's a lot of just clumsy exposition, just throwing enough references in there to mother boxes and Darkseid and Apocalypse, so that way we'll distract from the fact this is a really shallow fucking movie.
Yeah.
And again, which is fine. I've seen shallow movies that I like, but the characters have to mean something, and they just don't. This is not what the previous movies were building up to. This. Yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot to clear out some memory before we start recording this. So yeah, thankfully didn't lose a whole lot. So rants about the characters aside. Again, the parts that people were cheering at, I was so pissed off. On that note, let's talk about the end credit scenes.
So there was two. One which was another comic throwback.
Which is like, okay, which would be nice if I liked Ezra Miller. But I already don't, so I'm just like, can you just get off the screen, please? Nice to see more Superman, which is something I have yet to say in any of these films. And like, now that we have Henry Cavill as the real Superman, I can say he's a pretty good Superman.
Yeah.
When he's given material he can work with. So
when you let him actually try and be charming, he can actually be pretty damn charming.
Yeah, he's naturally pretty charming guy. And again, like, I like that when he's Steppenwolf, he doesn't go. He's such a. There's civilians over there. I'll be right back. And he just goes. He saves people.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I will punch building regardless of who's inside. Yeah. Definitely adds more definition to a character who they had not given any definition to up to this point.
Yep.
That goes for a lot of characters too. I will say this. I don't necessarily agree with their interpretation, but at least they're easily defined in this film. So the end credit scenes. Of all the things to bring back in Batman vs Superman, you had to bring back buttfuck Lex Luthor. My God, I almost shouted no at the screen. No, and he's still okay. So the end credit teaser is
a little bit toned down, thankfully, but
not really.
I said little.
He's still doing the shit he was doing in Batman vs Superman. It's like, oh, fuck you. And again, you could have gone with my plan. This was a perfect opportunity to do that.
Which was your plan again?
My plan was to have like the real Lex Luthor, like Bryan Cranston or someone come in, look at his son and go like, "You're such a disappointment." Shoot him, and then become like the real Lex Luthor in power, the way you expected him. Nope, this Lex Luthor breaks out of jail and he gets Deathstroke in there. He's like, just go, "Hi, I'm Deathstroke," and he goes, and he's like, "Oh, hello, Deathstroke."
Let's build a league of our own.
End credits. Just at this point, we'll see if we get another Justice League movie at this rate.
I won't be disappointed if they don't. I'll put it that way.
At least Wonder Woman got a sequel.
Huh?
At least Wonder Woman got a sequel.
Oh, that one, yeah, that made sense, because that actually did well.
Yeah, that actually did well.
Actually got good reviews.
Yeah, so that one's, I think the sequel's already underway.
Yeah, I'm still,
because there's that whole thing with Gal Gadot refused to come back unless they get...
Yeah. I think they actually disputed that, from what I remember hearing.
No, as far as I know, they got Brett Renner out.
No, as in, they said he was going to be out regardless.
Oh, was it? Well,
and they said, like, the whole
maybe
thing...
that's what they said. Yeah. I don't know if it's true.
No, I think from what I read, she came out and disputed those claims.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless.
Yeah.
Either way, like, that's a sequel I'd actually like to see. So here's the thing, like, as much as I did not like this movie, I still want them to make good movies out of these.
Yeah.
And it feels like a definitely noted apology for fucking up the way they have so far.
Yeah.
And like, we'll try to do better, but I just don't know if they can at this point. And audiences are clearly fed up with them because not a whole lot of people saw this. At least not in America. I heard they'll probably make someone more of their money back overseas.
Oh yeah, it's doing way better internationally. So it's at like $4.90 right now.
Is it?
According to Forbes, let me double check. And the thing, it went away.
No. Because it's kind of like Warcraft, it did shit over here, but it made like gangbusters in China.
Yeah, that made sense given it has a way. Well, one because it's special effects laid into the fact that I think overseas Warcraft and also StarCraft had a way better like international community.
Yeah. I can't think of a whole lot to talk about. I think I've gone over the main rage points at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's just. The story is as generic as it gets. It feels like it just stole from a bunch of other better movies. And it's hard not to compare that when, again, a lot of the movies we saw earlier this year Like Superman forgetting who he was and he'd be reminded of who he was again by some random object that brings all his memories back. We just saw that in Kingsman 2. The Flash Batman thing, we just saw in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really?
Well, yeah, like the mentor-mentee thing.
Not really.
Well, you can make an argument. I saw it that way anyway.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember him like, oh, yeah, I guess to an extent, yeah.
Yeah. They did it better there, too. Yeah, it just feels like it's just a bunch of borrowed ideas and really nothing of its own. And for a movie that really needed to set itself apart, it's remarkably generic.
Yep. I was hoping to at least be, fun, but it only has its moments.
And, like, I saw other people say, like, this movie's really good, this movie's awesome. It's like, the only way I could think you'd say that if just the image of these characters being together was enough for you to get enjoyment out of it. And if that's the case, fine. Good for you. But there are some cases, it's like when my dad tries to justify Big Bang Theory to me. There are some arguments where I'm like, okay, if you like it, fine. Do not try to justify this as a good movie to me.
Show?
What is that?
You mean show?
No, either or.
okay.
Because the one was like, well, it is like the #1 comedy in America. It's like, and the Transformers movies been #1 at the box office every time they come out. It does not mean they are good.
and Twilight and fucking 50 Shades franchise have made gangbusters.
Yeah, it's like, and
Keep in mind, a lot of people are idiots.
And Medea still has an audience. That's how I know.
Fuck Medea. Fuck. Ah.
Welcome to my world, man.
Why did I have to start with that one?
It is a pretty low point. So, yeah.
Maybe that's also the other reason why because I saw that earlier today, so it's like, you know what?
By comparison, it's not that bad. And I just saw The Star yesterday, and Justice League still made me matter.
Why are the stars just kind of okay?
It was more like, well, that was a movie. That it had characters in the script, and it was over in under an hour and a half, so...
And it has Steven Yeun. Or Yeun, I can't pronounce his last name.
He was just kind of there.
Yeah.
It also had Michael Keaton, he was wasted. It's like, this is going to be that movie that he did for a paycheck he's never going to talk about with anyone ever again.
At least we can remember him as a wolf.
Wolfie's great as a wolf. Like, I was, like, if I ever meet him, I also want to piss him off and be like, dude, you're amazing in The Star. The one that Peel probably went, really, man? But whatever.
I think a joke where, just to be a dick, if I ever meet Rick Astley, do a video for you, instead of having him do Never Gonna Give You Up, I have him do Together Forever. That's how Rick Astley Rick rolls.
That's it's like Laura gives me shit about this. If I ever met Michael Shannon, I'd be like, can you just say I will find him really loudly? Say words about Man of Steel. I still think Michael Shannon is a delight in that film. Where were you raised? On a farm? Punch,
Yes.
punch.
I did everything for my people.
He actually did have like that was like the one legitimately good scene in that film.
Now I have no people.
I fucking love Michael Shannon. Love him to death. I can't wait till what's that movie he's in?
Shape of Water?
Shape of Water. Can't wait for that one. I'm so stoked for that film.
From what I heard, this is Del Toro's probably best movie in a long time.
I've heard people call it a masterpiece, so that's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be an awesome Hellboy prequel.
Yes. The new Hellboy looks pretty good too, just from the new release of the look.
Featuring Michael Shannon lookalike David Harbour.
A lot less angry though. Doesn't quite have that Michael Shannon rage. It makes it so delightful.
Yeah.
Even
more constantly agitated.
Yeah, I can see that. Like someone just like hit him with like a little piece of cardboard from the back of the head every 20 seconds by some kid. Like, all right, you're gonna fucking knock it off yet.
His name's 11.
Name it 11. Yeah, that pissed me off too. My angsty psychic daughter.
I like that season, but I hated episode 7.
Yeah, that's not that one has its defenders, but not for its quality.
Yeah. I didn't hate it, but it literally just stopped everything dead in the tracks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, so.
Did you make note of any trailers you got? I'm curious.
I saw this last week, so probably not. But did you get anything good?
Actually, there was one that really caught my interest. Let me double check what the hell it was called. I want to say it was called like A Silent House or something like that.
Was that the one based on the Winchester house?
No, sorry, wrong. Elizabeth Olsen, really? Sorry, wrong movie. No, it had a. Damn it! John Krasinski was in it. That's all I can remember. But it kind of reminded me of Don't Breathe in these regards. So the whole basic plot line.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The one where like they have to be like they have to be silent.
A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Holy shit! John Krasinski directed it.
Apparently.
But yeah, so.
Yeah, I know which one that is. That one looks interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like this family's kind of out in the middle of. Shit, did I bring my jacket in? I don't think I did.
Your car's right over there.
Yeah, so it's not a problem.
You
Anyway, so these people have to be. This family's being completely silent because there's these things outside that are attracted to any sound.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting seeing all these things that are like tweaked, like Monopoly. They're rolling die on these knitted wool things. They have like these little cotton pieces as character pieces and all that.
Which I feel like I would just move. So curious how they explain that. But no, that one looked interesting. I'm really curious about that one.
It's like the fact that everything's so quiet and you just get like the bursts of loud nah. It's like
no, it definitely looks like a movie where a lot like Don't Breathe, where like feels like every sound matters.
Exactly. Well, that's why I was kind of mentioning that earlier.
No, it's a good comparison to make because that same kind of thing, where like same thing will make Don't Breathe such a brilliant sound design movie, in my opinion, is the fact that every sound you made matters. So every time a sound occurs, you instantly get more tense. So yeah, if it could follow that formula, then I'll be curious to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what trailers I got. I was still just fuming over Steppenwolf for the CGI by the time I walked out.
I got that. I got the Deadpool 2 teaser.
Yeah, I did get that one. Which is kind of weird to see a Marvel movie trailer in a DC movie.
Yeah. That was very strange.
I mean, at least Marvel seem to because they're pretty confident at this point.
Yeah.
Like we're still gonna make a shit ton of money.
Yeah. We're so confident we're gonna piss off the DC fanboys by making their movies.
At this point, they can have a total bomb and still be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And
DC, on the other hand,
DC just doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah. They're probably gonna lose 50 to 100 mil off Justice League.
I feel kind of bad for them, but I don't at the same time. It's like, then make a better fucking movie.
Yep.
Review embargoes do not help you in the long run. I mean, like the dedicated DC audience is gonna see it's gonna like it no matter what anyone says.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be that audience there. It's kind of like the Christian movies. Now, granted, they aren't that bad. It's like, you know, if the story has an audience built in, if they go and say, "I'm gonna love this movie," you're probably gonna like it. But if you have no, I don't want to say that because that sounds really pretentious. I was going to say, if you have a critical mind, which implies, if you can think, you fucking sheeple. No, not what I mean. Not what I mean. And it's more like, if you're like us... and
yeah, I'd say critically inclined.
Yeah, critically inclined. If you just expect more from these... If you expect more from these movies, then you're going to be disappointed. If you're thinking like, oh man, Batman vs. Superman set this epic showdown, you're not going to get it. That is not this movie. This is not Darkseid shows up and it's full apocalypse on Earth. No.
I am surprised we didn't get like a bigger setup for him.
At this point, I don't think they know what they're doing with that anymore. I don't know if they're even still setting that up, or they're gonna drop it at this point after like the way they did the Mother Boxes thing and how they used it as like a MacGuffin to bring Superman back, which was totally unnecessary.
Because didn't they hint that he was coming back anyway at the end of BVS?
Yeah, so my thought was like, if any character can just come back with just like, oh, it's part, like kind of like they did in the animated movie where it's like, oh, it's just Kryptonian biology, slow my heart rate to a crawl, so it looked like I was dead, but I wasn't. It was like,
yeah, all
right, sure, whatever.
Also, I'm still surprised at how okay Gordon was with Batman in retrospect.
Gordon just feels like he's been through some shit, so that one I was kind of okay with. I was surprised he bulked out that much when you don't see his muscles once, though. Yeah. I half expected him to like just tear off his jacket and like punch a parademon or something. With the way he's looked in that, like
Batman. They're like slaughtering a shit ton while Batman just beats one.
And using CGI on things, you did not need to use CGI. Did you really need to use CGI to whoosh a cape over a water tower?
It was also really weird because I'm pretty sure that this beam he was perched on, that was CG too. It was like,
Yeah, there's lines like, did you...
Is he floating on that thing? Is there no shadow? What?
Like, did you really need to CGI that? That was a question I was asking myself a lot too. It's like, really? You couldn't make a Steppenwolf helmet and just roll it on the fucking floor?
Yeah. What was another... Oh, that... Also, the beginning was kind of awkward based on both the editing and the fact that Batman just had a random guy tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering that too.
I was just like...
He has a bunch of dialogue. He's like, who the fuck are you? Because, like, it's because of him, isn't it? Because Superman's dead and all.
And he's just like hopping around tied up in a fucking grappling hook. I was like, what?
So it's like, wait, was this like a bait for the Parademon or something? I don't know. It's never explained.
Yeah.
He just in there and he's gone the next scene.
To a certain extent, he was. It's more like he actually was a crook, and Batman simultaneously used him as bait, and then he just left.
But he's talking to Batman like they have a history, so it's like really confusing.
Yeah.
But that's more being nitpicky because that character doesn't show up for the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So I
also wasn't the other thing that bugged me was I don't like I said I don't remember Wonder Woman exactly having super speed where she just like whoosh.
It's kind of implied, honestly, because she can't do like the deflected bullet thing.
Yeah, but those were single shots. Like
no, she's deflected machine gun fire lots of times.
I don't really remember that.
It's because it wasn't in the. It was like in the movie, she's basically promotes herself to godlike levels at the end of that movie. Right. So I just kind of took that as these are latent abilities that showed up after she unlocked her god powers. So that's kind of where you have to interpret that.
That's kind of fair, but at the same time, you expect her to be doing way more quick slashes than like fucking using a paintbrush on a easel like Deadpool against the wacky thing.
Like that didn't really bother me. I was pretty okay with all that. You can argue it's like depending on how, like the weight of the weapon and that kind of stuff. Because super speed isn't her main shtick, but she uses it enough to like bullets, using her magical bracelets. So like that stuff did bug me. I just think that's like okay, god powers. Sure, that's perfectly fine for me.
And that's fair, yeah.
So yeah, I can't really think of what else to say. You got anything else?
Not really. It's just like I said, an unremarkable movie at best.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It's better than some of the other ones, but not by much.
Please do better, DC.
You gotta do better, because clearly the audience is responding like, we don't like this. We are not putting up with this. Which, good. Good. We're finally starting to see a turnaround where people are pushing back into crappy, lazy blockbuster. Because even like Transformers didn't do all that well this year, didn't it?
Nope.
No, so like...
And Walking Dead's plummeting as well.
Which, like, I heard that one has a hit and miss, but, like, it's getting to the point where it's like, we want better, we deserve better. So, like, instead of just, like, give the people what they want, make a good movie, and people will go see it.
Yep.
With some exceptions, Blade Runner 2 didn't do all that well. But it's like, they're, like, but Wonder Woman did really well, and that got, like, people really like that one, it's still, like, a pretty good movie. So, like, clearly, if you make a good movie, people will go to see it. Again, Thor 3 is another good one.
Yeah, that was definitely the best one of the bunch.
Yeah, so, and again, if you make a good movie, people will go fucking see it. So instead of going like, oh, we're gonna set up this movie, and this movie, and this movie, and this movie, it's like, just make a good movie first. And then everything can follow along with that. It's like, again, with the Mummy, with the Dark Universe, they were so fucking confident about that. And that just bombed in their face. So
that's pretty stupid fun, though.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself, but not for the right reasons. So, yeah, I think that's it. So, other than that, I think we got Coco I still gotta go see.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, me too. That's good. And then there's a bunch of movies in theaters right now, so really just kind of take our pick, whatever we want to see.
I still need to watch 3 Billboards at some point.
That was really good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a huge
Sorry,
fan
I saw that without you.
That's okay. So I'm a huge fan of Martin McDonagh, so...
You'll like it, it's really good. Then I know Sarah was recommending Our Lady Bird, which is playing at Mercado.
I heard great things about that one.
Yeah, that one's playing at Mercado, so probably check that one out.
Yeah.
And there's also, like, J. Roman Esquire.
Which, from what I've heard, is a little more on the disappointing side, which is more disappointing based on the fact on who made that movie.
I've heard mixed things. I've heard people praise it, others not so much. But that one, if we have time, we'll go check that one out. But I think probably go see Coco and Lady Bird. Kind of the only ones I got. But,
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, there it is. Justice League. Leave your hate in the comments below, and tell me how I'm wrong and what a fucking asshole I am.
Just remember, I defended the Flash. But I do agree that was way more Wall-E.
Yeah,
less.
that's
than
not fucking Barry Allen. Barry Allen is an analytical genius.
Yeah, that also that reminds me. For someone off the grid, he had a lot of electronics in there.
No shit. Yeah.
I was like,
It's like, you realize, that's something that bothered me about that too, is like, you do realize Barry Allen can talk toe-to-toe with Batman about crime scene analytics, right? Like, as equals. Batman has gone on various levels saying, like, the Flash is the person I wish I would be, my parents didn't die. So, like, here's, IMAX. Like, why are you guys yelling? So to see that go to that and be like, oh look, I'm goofy, I'm wacky, woo-hoo-hoo. Let me just stop when we dead this track talking about fucking brunch, apparently. Have that called back in later. And I'm gonna stop now, gotta stop now. So yeah, stay tuned for Coco and all those other movies later this week. So thank you guys for watching, see you later.
see ya.